Good morning, beloveds. We're in an awkward situation where every time I come into this room, which is where Hayes is hanging out, apparently I have to bring food because he gets up every time, and I'm like, so since we need to put a little weight on him, he's 17. We're giving him kitten food, just little snacks of it, and so if you hear any crunching noises going on behind me, that's Hayes eating kitten food. So, yeah, that's where we are with this. He's 17. He can do whatever he wants. All right. It is February 1st. Are you done already? Have you had enough? You sure you don't want some more? You do not need it. Okay. Sorry. Distracted. Okay. February 1st. I am established in right thinking, and no one can confuse me this day. The quote is, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly." Okay, so blessed is the person that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Psalm 1:1. That's how we start the Psalms off. That's interesting. The ungodly are those who perceive, accept, and describe evil. Unfortunately, there are many people whom we meet each day who are in such states of consciousness. Unless we are exceptionally careful, the ideas accepted unless we are exceptionally careful of the ideas accepted by us, we shall let a few false ones slip into the back corners of our mind. Gradually, this infiltration makes an impression, and we become discouraged and feel that all people are out to defraud us. As students of the science of mind, we know that this is not true, and that we must perceive the truth operating through our fellow people. We are faced with the necessity of finding God in people, for people around us are born of the same mind and love of God that we are, and our knowledge of this will set us free from any negation that comes our way. Our offices, homes, and activities are filled with the sons and daughters of God, with the children of God. We must do all that we can to actually know and experience this. Because I believe that God is omnipresent in life, love, and wisdom, I now see these spiritual qualities alive in everyone with whom I live and work. Every individual in my world is a child of God, a creative expression of divine love. Each one offers to me only that which is good, creative, and true. All else is nothing to me, for I know that I am established in the perfect mind where all order, peace, and right action, where all is order, peace, and right action. There is no confusion, for God is the eternal peace of my soul. I see this within myself, and I seek the same peace within my fellow human. God within me, God within each one, I meet this day. All is good in my world. No, sir. You may not have the kitten food. Okay. All right. So what I'm reminded of is it's a science example where you can use a single drip of clear water to gradually clear a muddy pond. A continuous drip. By gradually dripping in clear water, eventually the pond will clear. He's saying this, the opposite is the same case. A single drip, continuous drip of muddy water will eventually muddy a clear pond. So that's one of the reasons why it's super important for us to be conscious of what we are consuming. We know this about food, but it comes to it's important to be aware of the books that we read, the TV that we watch, the movies that we watch, the music that we listen to, the news. The news is, because they can be continuous, muddy drips, and eventually it does cloud up our mind. As long as we're aware of it. So if we're constantly seeing the muddy drips in our world, then it's like, okay, well, what can I do to make sure that I'm getting enough clear drops to offset it? How can I reduce the number of muddy drops in my life? And sometimes the easiest thing to do is just simply turn off the news. I am one of those people that I cannot watch horror movies, because it just gets into my consciousness, and then, so I can't, and I know this about myself. Now, the people who can, more power to them, but this is what I know about myself, so I can't do that. And I do, and I turn off the news when I've had enough, and so I do what I need to do, and I read uplifting books, I do this kind of stuff to make sure that I'm getting more, that a bulk of the drops into my pond are clear. I'm also careful about the people that I surround myself with. Not that the people around me are constantly positive. We all have our, struggles, but it has to do with how we handle them. That's more important than whether or not we're having. Nobody is sailing through life without occasionally having obstacles. We all have obstacles. It has to do with how the people around us are handling those obstacles. And so those kind of people, it's like people who are, negative and blaming, and not actually working on their obstacles. Those are not the people I want to be around. I want to be around the people who are seeing obstacles and seeing them as opportunities and working on solutions and things like that. So it is about being conscious and about what we're consuming, and making sure that we have far more positive, clear drops coming in, because we can't avoid all the cloudy drops as much as we would like to. The only way to do that would be probably to move into a monastery in, Tibet. And even there, you're still going to have those days. So it's about being that. So I think and the more you're conscious of that, then then you're actively looking for the spirit in the people around you. Because that's his first thing. It's like, all right, you're a child of God. See that in everybody you see. Okay? But clear drops versus cloudy drops. You have you've got a lot of say in that. And yeah, I know there are those people that we can't avoid, but that's why we want to make sure we have more clear drops than cloudy. It goes a long way. And then when you encounter those cloudy drops, you can offset them. And maybe you can help clear them by seeing them as the child of God that they are. All right, so I am established in right thinking, and no one can confuse me this day. I like that title. And blessed is the person that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. That is Psalm 1:1. That's how they start the Psalms off. So the ungodly are those who perceive, accept, and describe evil. The negative people in your life. Evil is a misuse of the law, not a power in and of itself. So that's the first thing to think about. When he's talking about perceive, accept, and describe evil, it's a misuse of the law. It's a misuse of the power that we are granted to co-create our reality with spirit. Unfortunately, there are many people who we meet each day who are in such states of consciousness. Unless we are exceptionally careful of the ideas accepted by us, we shall let a few false ones slip into the back corners of our mind. And that's what I mean about being careful about what we are consuming. All right, being careful about what we're consuming, because you never know what idea is going to lodge in the back of your brain. That's why I don't watch horror movies. I don't need that stuff lodged in the back of my brain. Gradually, this infiltration makes an impression, and we become discouraged and feel that all people are out to defraud us. I mean, if you listen to the news kind of leads with that. As students of the science of mind, we know, and they have the know in italics, that this is not true. And that we must perceive the truth operating through our fellow humans. We are faced with the necessity of finding God in humanity. All right? We are faced with recognizing that each and every one of us is a beloved child of God, that we are spirit in action. For the people around us are born of the same mind and love of God that we are. And our knowledge of this will set us free from any negation that comes our way. So when we see everyone and everything around us as God, that's a steady stream of clear drops into our pond. Even when they are behaving badly, if we recognize that they are children of God, because everybody has those days. Everybody's going to behave badly. You know, we're all going to have that moment. But when we have that moment, when somebody looks at us and sees us as the beloved child of God that we are, it helps. I came home yesterday in a mood. And I was just in a mood. And so, and Tom was trying, and he was trying, and finally he just gave up, and he laughed. But he did it in such a way that I knew he wasn't laughing at me, and then I broke up and started laughing, and it broke my mood. Because in that moment, when he laughed, he saw me as a child of God, even though I came home in a mood. That's the power. That's the power of being able to see somebody as a child of God. Okay, and it will free us from any negation that comes our way. We can free each other from it just by a simple act like that. Our offices, homes, and activities are filled with the children of God. We must do all that we can to actually know and experience this. Because I believe that God is omnipresent in life, love, and wisdom, I now see these spiritual qualities alive in everyone with whom I live and work. You want a mission for today? There it is. Every individual in my world is a child of God, a creative expression of divine love. Each one offers to me only that which is good, creative, and true. And this is us co-creating our reality by stating out loud that our interactions are going to be with godlings, and that they are going to be true, and they are going to be loving, and they are going to be kind, and they are going to be compassionate. And we're going to go into it with that mindset. We are going to set that intention and see how that works out. Try it. You might like it. All else is nothing to me, because I'm willing to forgive and move on. All right? All else is nothing to me because I'm willing to forgive and move on. Now, sometimes when I forgive and move on, I will choose not to interact with that person anymore, because I'm not going to repeatedly put myself into a position where somebody can behave badly. So I'm going to forgive them and move on and not put myself in a position to interact with them again. So that is an option, all right? Just because you see somebody as a beloved child of God does not mean you have to interact with them. All right? Do not think that this is that we are the doormat spirituality of, yes, we love everybody, but it doesn't mean we have to put ourselves in positions to interact with everybody. Protect yourself. That's what I'm talking about, clear drops versus muddy drops. If somebody insists on being a muddy drop in your life, you have every right to move your pond so they're not dripping in it. You just are obligated to know them as the beloved child of God that they are from over here. All right. Okay. All else is nothing to me, for I know that I am established in a perfect mind where all is order, peace, and right action. There is no confusion, for God is the eternal peace of my soul. Because when I don't know, I turn to God. I turn to Spirit. And I say, tell me. I see this within myself, and I seek this same peace within my fellow person. All right? So I find the peace of my soul within me, and then I seek it in others. I say to them, even if I say it behind my teeth, you are a beloved child of God, in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. Know who you are. God within me, God within each one I meet this day, all is good in my world. All right, beloved. Like I said, you want a mission for today? The mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to see the spiritual qualities of God alive in everyone with whom I live and work. Everyone who I encounter, I am going to see them as a beloved child of God. That is the mission. Same mission, different words. It's about knowing who you are and knowing what you are surrounded with, knowing what you live and move and have your being within. That's the mission. I'm also going to encourage you, as I always do, to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, whatever it is. Big, small, does not matter. The matter is that you are practicing loving, kind, compassion on yourself. You are creating a habit. You are creating a default setting. It is a spiritual practice. If it is 3 deep breaths, if it is a cup of tea, if it is a nap, if it is a walk, it does not matter. It is whatever it is that is loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself. Because that's how we create a world that works for everybody. When we are loving, kind, and compassionate with ourselves, we can do it for anybody. When we see ourselves as a beloved child of God, we can see anybody as a beloved child of God. All right, beloveds. I'm also going to encourage you, as I always do, do something loving. Engage your mind and your body. Drink plenty of water. Go get a face full of sun. The sun finally come out. It was really dark this morning when we left for the walk, but it was wet yesterday, so the weather is going to be interesting. So for everybody having, weather issues, know that we've got you in treatment, and keep us in treatment down here in the South as we're facing whatever we're looking at this weekend, because we don't know how to handle that cold weather. We honestly don't. So drink plenty of water. And open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around you. And the best way to find it is to look for the good and praise it, as Emma says. Okay. Follow us on the social medias. Check that out. If you haven't gotten on our email, which is emailinfo@creativelife.org, because I'm taking a pretty interesting class tonight, which is offered through Home Office, which is being taught by our own Reverend Jesse. So you can get on that, because we've got really good teachers across the movement teaching things, and Jesse's just one of them. And so in this case, I'm interacting with over 40 people from around that, not just the country, the world. So look out for that kind of stuff. It's cool and it's interesting, and I expect to learn some stuff. And it's Ernest Holmes, and I'm well versed in Ernest Holmes. But somebody's going to have a new idea. All right, beloveds. Take care of yourself. Have a great day, an amazing day, a wonderful day, a magical day, an enchanting day. A fantastic day. A good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. Because you are enough just as you are. And you are loved. All right. Moving on. Have a great day. See you next time Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. I'll be back with you around 9. Take care of yourself.